Hello and welcome. My name is Yaline and you are watching another episode of the Lekker podcast. I am hosting this from Bloemfontein. We are here in central South Africa and in the province of the Free State province in South Africa. I think that sounded like totally mixed up. If you are a new viewer, I hope that you will enjoy this content, and if you are a returning viewer, it's lovely to have you back. I hope you're well. We are doing well. I have sick people in the house actually. I'm recording this on a Sunday afternoon, so the sun will be setting behind me. It will get darker. Yeah, that was the only time I had to do a podcast, and it's a much needed one, because if I keep it for too long, it will be a lot of things and then it become a very long episode. So the goal is to have shorter episodes. Please let me know what you think of that, but it's also easier to edit those. So yeah, that is the thing. But let me tell you, what are we going to discuss today? I'm going to talk about my 2 finished objects. I'm going to talk about 2 whips only. I have others, but I'm only going to talk about 2. 1 crochet, 1 knitting project or whip. I'm going to talk about acquisitions, and then we have an amazing giveaway. That is a collaboration between Moya Yarn, Gina Shepherd from the Funky Sheep Designs, and you don't want to miss that one. It's really, really awesome. So yeah, let's start, because otherwise we can't get this done. So my first finished object is, you guessed it, a mussel burrow. I absolutely love this mussel burrow. I started knitting this with the intention of it will be a giveaway. Not a giveaway, a gift for somebody. And then when I started the mussel burrow beanie, and I knit it, and the yarn is just lovely and the colorway is just gorgeous, which reminds me, I wonder where the tag is. I was supposed to bring the tag. Oh, hold on. I think there's the tag. Let me just quickly get it. I got it. So I'm recording from our bedroom, and so everything is on the bed, and there's some distance between the seat and the bed. So every time I have to get something, I have to get up and reach out for the bed to get the items. But anywho, so I made the mussel burrow. This is a pattern by Isolde Teak, one of my favorites. I love this pattern. If you don't know, you are knitting the mussel burrow like this. Start on the one end, do increases, then you just knitting around for a certain amount of centimeters or inches, and then you do decreases, and then you're able to flip the one side into the other side, making a double fabric or double layered beanie. If you're going to look at some of my other Ravelry project pages, you will see I have knitted the one side with one specific yarn and then another colorway yarn on the inside, so then it's a reversible beanie, and you're able to make a slouchy hat, or you can fold the rim and have 4 layers over your ears. So I've been wearing this beanie yesterday. It was cold and rainy, and I think if it's rainy, my body is telling me it's more cold than it really is. I don't know how my hair looks like. Anyway, you're getting me raw and real here. But yeah, this is a really lovely pattern to make. You can use any type of yarn, and depending on the amount of stitches per amount of centimeters, the pattern indicates to you how long you need to knit before you start decreasing, up until how many stitches do you need to have on your needles for the 4 quarters. So this is really really a spectacular and lovely pattern. I am in love with this pattern. So that's the one thing. And then the yarn I used was from Sweet Skeins. It's a sock yarn, 75-25%, so 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. There's 366 meters for 100 gram Anya, and the name of the colorway is Time Turns the Page. And let me tell you, I am loving this. It came out beautifully. I could wear this with anything in my cupboard. It will suit all the colors. So I am keeping this for myself. Yeah, because this is really truly special. All right, the second project, finished object I have, here's the photo of that. It's socks. Yes, my first pair of socks, I think, for the year so far. And that was gifted to somebody, so that's why it's not with me. The yarn that I use there is from Naughty Habit. It's the Speckled Clusters. Now, the Speckled Clusters is one of my favorite yarns because of the speckles that you have in the yarn, and especially in this socks that I made. I absolutely love the navy blue, and then this bluish, light blue and turquoise colors that is coming through. I absolutely loved knitting up those socks. The pattern is from the Crazy Sock Lady. The vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars, and yeah, I had so much fun. I think I made a medium-sized pair, which would probably fit a number 5, 6 in South Africa shoe sizes. And yeah, it was so much fun, and I need to cast on another sock soon. So those are my two finished objects. All right, so let's quickly talk about my works in progress. So I have a few works in progress, but the two that I'm going to show you today is the ones that I spent the most time the past few weeks, maybe the last week. The first one I have is actually a lovely project I'm working on. And now I'm going to go over to my bed, or to our bed rather, to go and get the project. Hi, Katie! Katie is here downstairs, down here, asking for love. Say hi to the people. There we go. Let me quickly go and get the project. If you've been watching my channel diligently or more frequently, you would have seen that I hosted a few live events the past few weeks, and more specifically last weekend, which was the 6th of May, I think. I was so lucky to be able to have an interview with Leandra and Monique from the national initiative called Safari Crochet Marathon. Now, I'm not going to talk about the whole thingamajigs, but let me give you a few pointers. So, Leandra and Monique is from Afrikaans. Afrikaans is an Afrikaans language and cultural association, and they wanted to make an impact in the community. So normally they have a few community projects running, and this year they decided to do a crochet project together with Maak 'n Verskil Hikkel Groep. So it means make a change crochet group. They are based in Gauteng area, and normally that group crochets a lot of blankets and then they give it to the needy. So either old age homes or children homes or hospitals, wherever the need is. And so Leandra and Monique made basically joined them, and they thought they will have only like a small few people, maybe 30 people joining them in their close by surroundings, which is in Gauteng. And then suddenly it boomed into really a national get together where all crocheters are really taking, a stand and crocheting together towards this amazing initiative. So it's been growing very well. And if you are looking for an event, close by to where you are staying because you don't maybe want to do it alone, I will have all the contact details of the Safari Crochet Marathon in the description below of this video. So the intention is that you crochet a 20 by 20 centimeter block. You can do a granny square, you can do a corner to corner, whichever way you want. It must just be 20 by 20 centimeters with a double knit yarn and a 4mm hook. And those you can either crochet 1 block or 10 blocks or 100 blocks, whichever is great for you or that you're able to do. And then you can either send in the blocks or you can send in a finished blanket. Now, the finished blanket size is the amount of 36 of those 20 by 20 centimeter blocks. So you can either have 5 by 7 blocks in your blanket or a 6 by 6 block. So that is 36 in total. Join those blocks and then send it to Leandra and Monique and the team. So on the 26th and the 27th of May, which is in 2 weeks time from this while I'm recording, the recording date, they're going to have a 30-hour marathon. Now, we've already started in certain areas long before the time already, starting with our blocks. But that doesn't matter. If you only want to go and attend that event at a close by venue where that is happening, that is fine too. But the 30-hour marathon will run from 12 o'clock on the 26th, the Friday 26th, up until 6 o'clock the Saturday afternoon on the 27th. And the intention is to have at least one person at the venue crocheting at a certain time so that this whole of the 30 hours is dedicated to crocheting for this amazing event. If you need any other information, I would encourage you to please go and have a look at my live session I had with Leandra and Monique. It's available on my YouTube channel. If you go to the live tab, you will see it there. You will see the Q&A live with Leandra and Monique. And it was lovely having them on. So it's a long story to show you my project. So this is the blocks I have done so far. Some of them are on my hook, still on 2 hooks. I'm busy with 2 separate bags. The one I'm traveling with, the one is always staying here though. But this is my blocks so far. So let me quickly count. This blocking board for this granny square I bought from our local venue, Anniki. Anniki is the host for our Bloemfontein venue, and her husband made these, so I could buy one from him. So let me show you. Let me quickly count my blocks. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks. I think there's in my other bag some more. But yeah, you get the gist. So that is all the blocks, and you will see I'm a very naughty girl. I crochet a bunch, and then I realize I need to work maybe the ends. I need to attend to those. And then I'm like, Yaline, why are you not doing the ends after every block? Then I have a talk with myself, and I promise myself it will not happen again. And here we are. Blocks with ends that's not worked in. Anyway, so this is my blocks, and then the yarn I'm using a pink yarn, a green yarn, this salmon color from Kismet Lollipop. So it's a double knit yarn, it's an acrylic yarn. There is 300 meters for 100 gram on this one, and then I'm using a multicolored one which is also from Kismet. It's called Funky Stripes. This is color number 43, and this is also a DK yarn. It's got 360 meters for 100 gram. So that is my project. So my intention is, the ideal would be for me to have a finished blanket, but reality is probably that I will not be able to do that. So I'm pushing at least for 36 blocks. Let's see. I'll keep you posted on how it's going with the Safari Crochet Marathon. So that is the Safari Crochet Marathon. So if you have any questions and you want to participate, please contact Leandra and Monique. The contact details will be in the description of this video below. So it's underneath this video, right, where it says show more or something like that. Then my second project I want to show you, I'm so excited about this one. This is my knitting whip, my knitting work in progress. And you know, I started this project, this pattern, beginning of last year. And it's a sweater. And I struggled with the casting on of this sweater because you have to use a crochet hook. Now I cannot remember the terms for that. Hold on, let me quickly see what is the terms. Let me be a proper podcaster and tell you the correct terminology. You have to use, that's a chained method, it's a tubular cast on, right? So I want to do a smaller neckline, and then I was struggling so severely with the yarn that I had at the time, and it was just not working out. And then I got so frustrated, I just pulled it out. I pulled it all out and I left the pattern and packed everything back from my project bag, and I just left it. And then I think it was during a live of the Safari Crochet Marathon, Mariette from Die Boervrou said they were hosting a knit-along. So Mariette from Die Boervrou and Liani from Independence Yarncraft, it's two South Africans also having podcasts on YouTube, are currently hosting a ranunculus knit-along. Now, if you don't know about the ranunculus, it's like everybody in the knitting world knows about the ranunculus, right? So the ranunculus is a pattern from Knit Cafe Midori. Our printer doesn't print significantly amazingly, but what is so great about this pattern is that you can use any yarn, from lace to worsted yarn, and you're able to do a sweater. It's just gorgeous. And what I don't understand is this pattern is knitting up so quick. I started last week on Thursday, meaning the 4th of May. Is it the 4th? What is today's date? No, I'm probably lying. Yes, I think it is. Yes. And was it the 4th though? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And then so that is basically a week and a few days, and I'm basically almost done with the sweater. I just don't get it. I don't get it. The pattern is really addictive, and I ordered more yarn. I'm gonna do another one as well. It's really a lovely pattern, and I'm gonna do another winter one, and then I am going to, when the summer comes here by around September, spring, I am knitting another one in cotton as well. So I am loving this. So, okay, let me start and show you the thing. So I'm hosting this. This is my project bag where my project is housed. This is a Naughty Habit Yarn Club bag for this I almost say financial year. I would think I'm at work currently at my day job, but I'm not. It's the Yarn Club bag for 2023 from Naughty Habit, and I mean, isn't this just gorgeous, right? Something is in my eye. I don't know what is going on. Anyway, so you've guessed it. I am making the ranunculus from Knit Cafe Midori, and I'm knitting it with, let me show you the yarn tags first before I show you the amazing. Okay, so I'm knitting this with Naughty Habit 2-ply merino linen. It's a 2-ply fingering weight. It's having superwash 83.3% merino and 16.7% linen. There is 375 meters on 100 gram. What is the noise that I just heard? I heard a noise. I don't know what that was, but anyway. So I'm using, this is the colorway Sweet Peas, and the other colorway's name is Ice Cold. And let me tell you, I think I have a new favorite yarn base. This merino linen is so soft and so dreamy to work with. And the other thing is this colorways is gorgeous. Oh, I know what it is. There's doves on the roof. Goodness gracious, I hope you can't hear it. Anywho, so let me show you the yarn, the projects. I'm having this on my Knit Pro Symphony needles. You know I love my wooden needles. Let's start. All right, there we go. I hope you can see it nicely. I don't have a second screen to verify. So there's the yoke with all the details, right? And then, so I started with the ice gold. It's almost like a tonal color, a solid color. And then I started with the multicolored sweet peas colors, and I started fading it in, and I switched between the two yarns the whole time. And then at the end, I just switched over to the sweet pea colors. So I'm making a long sleeved version. You can see here, there's my long sleeve. I have not even closed this I-cord bind off for the sleeve, and I'm still busy on the sleeve. I'm almost done. I can probably finish it tonight if I really push. I think it's possible. Yes, so let me tell you about, oh my goodness, and it's fitting beautifully. So my bust, my circumference around my bust is 110 centimeters. And they are advising to have a lot of positive ease, meaning a lot of flowy fabric, space between your body and the actual sweater of about 45 centimeters. So I knitted this in a size 6, which is a bust circumference of 145 centimeters, meaning that I will have 35 centimeters positive ease. So 35 centimeters around, creating a lovely drape around my body. I have to say that with my next ranunculus, I might do a number 5 to have a tighter fit around my body. But goodness gracious, I'm so excited. I can't wait to finish it so that I can block it and wear it. I am so excited. Yeah, so this is my ranunculus. I am absolutely loving it. It is really, it's such a joy to knit. And this, I wish you could just feel, I just wish you could feel the fabric. It is really nice, really nice. So that is my second work in progress project. Work in progress. Oh dear me, it's a story. Yeah, and that is it. So now I can show you the things that I got. So let me quickly grab all the thingies. Since we spoke last, I was again in Pretoria for a week attending meetings. That specific week was absolutely busy. We finished our meetings at night, almost every night at 9 o'clock. Yes, Katie again. Say hello. Say hello. Sure. And I was lucky to be able to quickly, after a long night, see Mrs. Notty. And you know, now I'm full of catties. Goodness gracious. Oh, Katie. So the one problem you're having is when you're going to have a visit with Mrs. Notty in her yarn studio. It is truly impossible to walk out of there not spending money. Because the yarns she's having there hanging on the wall is just gorgeous. And you just want to grab everything, right? So one of the things I'm trying to do this year is to really knit more gifts for my loved ones and yarn-worthy people. So, and that entails knitting more socks, because if you've watched my previous podcast, you know that I'm absolutely in love wearing my merino socks, in wintertime. It really makes a difference. So last year I was absolutely going ballistic, crocheting myself socks for winter time. This year I have enough to sustain me for now, but I'm gonna knit more. But I am really busy knitting gifts for friends and family that really would appreciate merino socks. So it was just appropriate and needed for me to buy more sock yarn. This yarn I bought from Mrs. Naughty Habit. Isn't this just lovely? So this is a sock set. Knock your socks off, Kaiser. It's a 75-25, so meaning 75% superwash, 25 nylon, and there is 366 meters on the 100 gram, and there's a 25 gram skein which got 91 meters on it. Katie, I need to show the people the yarn. Can you please jump off? Please? I think she's starting to getting cold, so now she's seeking my lap. But I hope that you can see this beautifully. All right, and then the other yarn, it's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. It's another set, also 100 gram, and then a 25 gram mini. Same yarn, same yardage, meterage, but just look at this colors. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so autumn colors for me. I really, really love it. So that's the one thing. And then, skis. I went to visit Estheresa Yarn Creations together with my friend Getreida and AJ. They were visiting Bloemfontein a few weeks back. It was so much fun having them here. We really had a great time. And then we went on the Saturday to go and visit Estheresa Yarn Creations in Brandfort. They're based in Brandfort. And I told you I want to knit more socks for myself. So I bought this yarn, and the reason I love this yarn so much is this is a 20% kit mohair, 25% nylon, and a 55% superwash wool. So it has mohair also in this. It's a 4-ply sock weight yarn. There is 80 gram main color skein and a 30 gram contrasting skein. For the 80 gram, there is about 320 meters on here, and for the 30 gram, there's 120 meters on here. And this is the Donna base they're having. And I have 2 pairs of socks with mohair in them. It's my favorite socks. And I decided if I'm going to knit myself socks, it will be socks with, or yarn with mohair as part of the base, because it's next level luxury, let me tell you. It really makes a difference. So, but this colors, I love this. I actually bought another color, but it's already skeined up in a project bag, waiting to be casted on. So that is not, and I also bought another skein of Kaizo's, but that's also already in a project bag. So I'm not showing you those. Then I told you Getreida and AJ was here visiting, and AJ and Getreida was visiting our local yarn store, and they bought this Angora yarn from Yarn Stash Collection. It's my local yarn shop, and AJ gifted me this small skein, and let me tell you, the fluff is so amazing, and it's so soft, so soft, and it's beautiful. All right, then there's one last thing. I am a member of Annelie Unravel's Patreon page. And if you don't know Annelie and you are a spinner of yarn or you like homespun yarn, you are missing out if you don't know Annelie Unraveled. So Annelie, share her tips and tricks on how she makes bats for fiber bats, etc., etc. And due to me being a member of her Patreon, she gifted her Patreons a Mother's Day gift. So let me show you. I got this beautiful card, which is handmade, that says, Happy Mother's Day, Aline. Flowers. We all want flowers. With some sweeties, which is gonna be eaten very soon. And then the fiber. Let me show you the fiber. There we go. Just look at this. Doesn't this look like a flower? It is absolutely gorgeous and so soft. It's a Mother's Day Flowers is this fiber's name. It's got a lotus fiber in the middle, which I actually don't know a lot about. I must read up and make myself more knowledgeable about lotus fiber. And then superwash merino rah rah. So a superwash merino. And it's just, oh joy, it's beautiful. It's really, really, really gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Annelie. All right. So that is all the things, but then, the thing that you've been waiting for. I have an amazing giveaway that is partnered with Moya Yarn and the Funky Sheep Designs, which is Gina Shepherd. She's the designer from Funky Sheep Designs. And Moya, if you're a South African, you would know they have the most amazing cotton yarns, cotton blend yarns. And so Gina designed a blanket for Crochet for Cancer. Crochet for Cancer is an event that is normally happening in, if memory serves me well, in March, April. And the contributions is totally given to cancer, right? So she designed this blanket, and I'm going to show you pics on here of the blanket. It is absolutely beautiful. And using Moya's yarn, right? So there's two kits. One is the pinkish color and the one is the bright colors, which is absolutely gorgeous. And so between Moya and Gina from Funky Sheep Designs, they are giving away 2 patterns as well as 2 kits for the Hope blanket. All right, so if you are maybe interested to buy kits and get the pattern, you can go to Afrikaans website, the Afrikaans website. The kits are there available, and the monies that's also made from that kits, I don't know exactly the percentage of those kits, are also contributed to cancer. So you're still making a change and making an impact. So, and I can highly suggest you do that because you're going to enjoy working with those kits. All right, so let me show you the yarn. This is, I've got 2 kits of the pink colorway. And this is a double knit cotton yarn, 100% double knit cotton yarn from Moya. And there is, how many? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 balls of the natural color. And then the pinkish colorway, how many? 3, 6, 9, 10. 10 balls of the pink. Right, so I've got 2 sets to give away. There we go. Another set. There you go. So 2 kits for you to give away. So there's 2 kits up for grabs, and the one kit is sponsored by Moya Yarn. The other kit is sponsored by Funky Sheep Designs, Gina Shepherd. And The only way that you are able to participate is the following. You have to be a South African citizen. I'm so sorry for our international viewers. Currently, courier cost is just astronomical when we are sending our kids overseas. And here comes Katie. And then secondly, you have to comment on this video. So not on Facebook, not on Instagram. You have to comment down below in the comments of this video and tell us your story of hope. This is the hope blanket. It was specially designed for Crochet for Cancer, as part of contributing funds and to cancer, right? Initiatives. So tell us your story of hope. Tell us, what is your story of hope? And then the next winner will be announced. Winners will be announced in the next episode. All right, so that's all the things. I'm so excited about this yarn and this project and the whole blanket. It is just gorgeous. And I also want to thank Moya and I want to thank Gina. Thank you so much for collaborating with me, and giving my viewers the most amazing gift so that we can have this great giveaway. All right, so Katie is demanding my love and attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, it's free. Please subscribe, and then I will see you in the next one. Be blessed, everybody. See you next time. Bye.